Hey guys, today's topic was sent in by Martin and he'd like us to chat a little bit about tire pressure and off-road wheeling. So let's talk about some of the basics here. If we're going to cover a simple trail, a forest road, maybe a two-track, we're going to air our tires down just for comfort. So we're going to bring them down to about 25 psi. And that's really just to get them a little more springy and absorb some of the little bumps and bruises along the way. If we're looking at something like going over dunes, through desert sand, out on the beach, there we're looking for something that's going to allow us to float the tires, the rig, over the top of the sand. And that really means get as much surface area of our tire as we can spread out. In order to do that, we're going to have to let that tire air quite a bit lower, and so there we're looking at somewhere in the 9, 10, maybe up to 12 psi. We really want to let that tire spread out and carry the weight across as much surface as possible. Now you want to be careful when you get down that low that you're not going super fast and making hard turns, because that will tend to allow a bead to roll and all the air escape, and then you're going to have to reset your tire out on the trail. Not a big deal, but we'll quickly bring the group to a halt as you get the tire back on. Now, if you're looking for something to do with Rubicon or some of the bigger rocks and trails that have big obstacles, there you're going to look to get a tire that's going to get enough pressure that it bites over and really grabs onto the obstacles as you go forward. So in that case, we're looking at somewhere in the 10, maybe 18 psi range, depending on the obstacles, depending on the terrain. Also depends on how much weight we already have in the rig. We need to get those tires so they're soft and they can grab, but we don't want to give up so much ground clearance that now we're dragging across all those rocks. So you kind of have to make some decisions there about how much ground clearance can you give, how soft is your tire to start with, how sticky is it. But as you start to get a feel for it, you'll quickly dial in where that compromise is that lets your tire reach over and grab versus give up all that ground clearance. All right. Now, in order to air down, there's a couple of different approaches. There's lots of things out there that do it. A couple of the ones we like are the little screw-on tire deflators. Those you can set sitting around your house. You set them to a preset PSI that you want to go to. And when you get on the trail, all you need to do is screw those onto your valve. It's going to let out the air pressure till it hits that preset, and then they're going to stop. Take them off, put them inside the little carrying case, and you're done. Downside of that is you've preset them for 20. You wanted it to stop at 25, so you're kind of racing around trying to stop, constantly using your tire gauge to check where am I at. Or you set them at 20 and you really want to go all the way down to 16, and again you're kind of poking at the tire to get the air pressure all the way down to 16. So easy to use, great if you know what you're going to need that day, but if you're going to be going into a situation where tire pressure is always changing, might not be the best choice. An alternative is one of the valve core removers. So these basically screw on and then you twist out the valve core, and it's going to blow air out really fast. It's great. Has a gauge that lets you know exactly where you're at. That way, depending on what you're going to be using your tire pressure at, you can quickly stop it. You can also have different tire pressure up front. If you've already got heavy load up front with the engine, you're going to need to let more air pressure out of the rear if it's light. So these let you dial it in specifically to where you want it at. Do carry a few extra valve cores. Occasionally, once in a blue moon, I've seen a valve core get torqued up, so you'll need to replace that out on the trail and air back up. Speaking of air back up, once you get back off the trail, it's time to get those tires back to their highway PSIs, because you do not want to be driving at highway speeds with tire pressure that you were out on the trail. You're going to tear up your sidewalls and you're going to ruin a tire quickly around that. So there's a couple of options here. The power tanks are great. They're filled with CO2. They're refillable. Depending on the size of the tank, you can get a number of trips out of them. And they, like I say, they are super fast. Downside is when they're empty, they're empty. So if you're going to be going for a longer adventure and you're going to be airing up and down quite a bit, the power tank's eventually going to run out and you're going to be stranded. You can go with a small compressor. These are portable. They hook right up to the battery and they will let you air up just like any other air compressor will. They're not nearly as fast and they do take time and patience. One of the things you want to watch for here is get one that has a continuous duty cycle. The last thing you really want to be doing is airing up. Your compressor overheats. You have to stop, wait for it to cool down, and then you're waiting for each tire. It can be a long and drag out process. Continuous duty cycle is going to let you just air up one tire after another. Still going to be slower than the air tanks, but it will get you there. Another tip, bring some extra valve stem covers, the little screw-on caps. Can't tell you how many times we've gone out and aired down. First time we stopped, do a second walk around, we noticed we forgot to screw back on the caps. And we want to keep the dirt and gunk out of there so the cores and the valve stems don't get messed up. So carry a couple extras and they'll be available to you in case you accidentally forget to put it back on. All right, now we just covered the surface of this topic. There's a lot more that you can get to know about the right air pressure. A lot of it's experience and it's unique to your rig, the tires you're running, how much weight you have. So it's going to be a bit of a learning experience for you. But trust me, if you hang in there, you're going to find exactly what dials in best for your rig in most conditions. All right? If you have a question, a concern, don't hesitate to leave a comment, and we'll try to answer it as best we can. Until we talk to you guys again, have fun, and we'll see you.